I just feel like when I lead with compassion for someone who has done something out of pocket instead of frustration, annoyance, uh, judgment, disgust, I feel more at peace just up in here. Here, it's good for them, it's good for me. However, it's not always easy to lead with that compassion. We're not always wired to do that. And I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. First thing, hello, I'm Imani. Welcome. I am many things, one of which is a marriage coach. I talk a lot about relationships here, relationships with our partners, relationships with self, and also a lot about life, navigating through changes and transitions, how to get ourselves together, how to get, and what that looks like in real time. So let's get into it. I tried to watch Keke Palmer's Decisions podcast interview because it looks really interesting, but I'm a toddler mom. I didn't get through it. But I did see a clip. This is the inspiration for what we're talking about today. I did see a clip when she was asked about being proposed to by a stranger in public. And her response, however you feel about Keke, I enjoy Keke, but however you feel about Keke Palmer, her response is like a masterclass in how to lead with compassion and consideration. Y'all, it's humid. I have to drink some water. Hold on. Stay with me. Y'all don't want me to pass out. I need to hydrate. For real, for real. Um, Masterclass. Okay. And I'm not about to show the clip, copyright and all that, but I am going to go through basically her response when they asked her, like, what was going through your head? What was you think? She was like, I knew this man was serious because the ring was nice. Like it looked nice. It looked expensive. It looked nice. She was like, he legitimately bought a ticket to this event and it was not a cheap ticket. He bought a ring and he got up the courage to propose to me and really thought that it was a possibility that I was going to say yeah. And she was like, that's not something to play with. And when you see her response to him, she was like, okay, peace, my brother. She let her people handle it. She was shocked, but she was really like, peace, my brother. Fine, okay. Like she led with a lot of compassion. She didn't roll her eyes. She didn't come to him with disgust. She didn't come with him with judgment. She's like, obviously something is going on here. And no matter how I'm feeling, it's like an affront to me a bit. I need to lead with compassion with this brother who made this choice. And I was like, yes, we do need to lead with a little bit more compassion. And I have examples from relationship. I have examples from friendships because, you're ever in those situations where you or your friend, but for the purposes of this, let's say it's you, because then you're going to feel this more deeply. Let's say you did something out of pocket. You said something out of pocket. You did something that wasn't cool to a friend that you care about, that you've been there before, you've supported. You guys are good friends to each other, but you did something. We're human. You made a mistake. And that friend responds to you as if they don't know who you are. That friend responds to your mistake as if the history that you have of friendship, the support that you have given, the time that you have shown up don't mean anything in this moment. It feels wild. It feels wild because it's like, hold on. Like I know that this thing happened. I'm gonna take accountability for this, but this doesn't define me and it shouldn't define our relationship, I hope. And yet sometimes it feels like it does and it can. In that moment, like you forgot who I was, the times that I have supported, the times that I have shown up, the times that I have cheerleaded you. And it comes down to like you don't know what people are going through and you don't know people's story. As females especially, we go on apology tours. We go on apology tours. I'm trying to work that out of my daughter. Because when I look at when she's like, oh, I'm sorry this, and I'm like, where did she get it from? She got it from me. She got it from me. Moi. I'm like, I we are like wired to go on our apology tours, to say sorry for things that aren't even our fault, that aren't even ours to carry, or to say sorry for things that are not a big deal. It doesn't require, and I'm sorry, it just requires like, oh, let me shift this, let me make this change. And I'm working on molding that into my daughter, and also letting her know that it's something that I struggle with, because we're just like, well, oh, we apologize for everything. Oh, I'm sorry, the toys are on the floor. Like, they know you have a toddler, and they're coming in your house. They have kids too, and yet we apologize for it. Yeah. So, it is, you never know what somebody's going through. It is really important to remember just that. I don't really know what you're going through. I don't know what you're going through internally. I don't know what you're going through necessarily, all of it externally, because even if you share a lot, there's always going to be things you do not know. There's always going to be things that you're not privy to. You don't live with the person, you just don't know when it comes to a friendship. And so, just like leading with that sense of compassion, like, okay, you get this. I didn't know. Maybe you didn't have the bandwidth to show up for me in the way that you have in the past. And while that was hurtful, can we come to an understanding that I didn't have the bandwidth, that I couldn't be there in that capacity this time, because this is what was going on. And I just talked to a friend of mine here who had talked about friendship being on thin ice because of something just like this. She was like, I couldn't show up in that moment. She was so hurt and upset that it just ruled out everything that we had been through, it felt like. And like, you've got to leave with compassion for them, and you also got to be okay, so I'm going to acknowledge the fact that you're hurt too. If we're doing all of this, we're moving with more of a peaceful spirit than when we jump to judgment, or we jump to, annoyance or frustration, or, like, you know what I mean? Confusion, that could be okay. Like, I'm a little confused by this. We don't get some clarity then. If we're confused, that means that lays the groundwork for there to be clarity instead of confusion. And so that's understandable. But something else that happened today, before I get into the relationship piece, right? I was at an indoor park with the kids, right? Second day of kind of celebrating Zen's fourth birthday. He really wanted to go to the indoor park. We didn't go yesterday on his actual birthday. So I'm like, okay, we went today. And there was a mom there with a child, with a son and a young child. And this oldest son looked to be about 7 or 8 years old. I'm sitting down on one of the, like, round couch things that they have where parents can sit while kids play. And, there's a mom she's sitting maybe 3 feet, kind of away from me on the same round bench situation. And I'm on the phone with my dad, so I'm kind of focused on a phone call. She's on her phone or what have you. Her son, and I only noticed this out of my peripheral, her son just went to the bathroom, like came out the ball pit, just went to the bathroom right there instead of going to the bathroom, like just on the floor. And I saw it kind of out of my peripheral. I'm on the phone with my dad, a little disoriented. I tap her and kind of let her know what's happening. And she's like, okay, thank you. And she worked it through. And I noticed that myself, there was confusion at first. One, because I'm not even all there, right? I'm kind of multitasking. I'm managing this and make sure the mom knows what's up, she can handle it. I'm also trying to help my dad with a technical crisis on the phone, with him trying to attach something to his email. And so I'm having this back and forth thing. So yes, there was confusion for me, but at the end of the day, I didn't need clarity. I didn't know why. I just was like, I don't know what this mom is going through, and I'm just gonna do. What do you? Are you good? Do you need? And she knew what to do. She handled it, and it was fine. And there wasn't any judgment. There wasn't anything, because again, you don't know what people are going through. I don't know her story, and because of that, all I can do is be there. All you have left, I feel like, is leading with compassion. In relationships, sometimes you can get a little snippy. This is a person you live with, so you already know the ebb and flow. It's like, oh, I'm a little snippy today. I don't have the capacity for this person. Or they're a little snippy with you. And you're like, hold up, wait a second. Who are we talking to? I don't, the energy that's coming at me, I don't feel is deserved. And you're right. But what usually happens is there ends up being an argument. Okay, hold on, y'all. Pause. Because again, the humidity is about to have me pass out. You're like, who are you talking to? Right? It feels like a personal affront because it's towards you, which is understandable. But leading with compassion, leading with a sense of consideration is like, this is not even about me, because what will actually happen is there'll be an argument and it's not even about you. It'll be a disagreement, an argument, like, how you talking about like this, da, 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 and they're so frustrated about work or whatever it is they're frustrated about, that's making them less patient, more snippy, more quick to be, annoyed or frustrated. And instead of being curious, like, oh, is something happened at work? You don't want to talk about it. That's fine. But if you do, I'm here. Let me give you a space kind of situation, which again, the whole point of this is more peace for you, more peace for them. It'll be an argument. And the sad part is the disagreement is not even about the person. Like, it's about how the person is releasing their thing, and that the fact that they're projecting that onto you, understandable, but it doesn't have to escalate, right? It can be that is something that can quickly be de-escalated when we lead with compassion. And it's like, this is the reminder. Watching that Keke Palmer thing, going to the indoor park today, reminding myself, having like had a really emotional conversation with my husband earlier today too. Um, and emotional in a way where I was just upset about something, and I was like asking his input and his insight, and um I got teary, and he gave me what I needed in that moment, like a hug, reassurance, physical touch. And we could dissect how we had our conversation in a way that, like, this went really well. Like, sometimes when things are high, and like, this went really well. Like, I received what you had to say. You said it in a really compassionate way, but really honest. Like, you're not a sugarcoater, you're straight, no chaser. You gave me that, and you gave me that with compassion, and you you asked me what I needed in the moment from the conversation. I said, hey, I want to run this by you. And you asked me, like, you want me to just listen? Or what is it that you want from the conversation? And I was like, I actually want your input, your insight, but thank you for asking that question. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look at this. It's moments like that. Like, even being a marriage coach, even working on, like, marriage coach aside, just being married, okay, and being with this man for 17 years, the ebb and flow of our relationship, our communication, all of it, in those moments dropping in, those moments are not lost on me. Those moments are precious. Those moments are the receipts of the growth and the work that we have done, over the years, child. And it's just amazing. Um, and I feel like this is a tangent. I feel like I got to this for a reason, this portion, and then it's a tangent. But ultimately, I know we're talking about compassion and consideration, and even in relationship, being able to lead with that, and how that can just afford you just some connection and some peace and deeper levels of intimacy, not just romantic intimacy with your partner like we're talking about now, but also in those friendships that we talked about, also with yourself. I, as many things, I'm gonna leave with this, because I feel like I don't want to ramble, so I'm gonna leave with this. Many things, if there's one thing that I know over all of these years, and I don't speak in absolutes, but I really want to say all things, but I'm just going to say many, many things, most things. When we are dealing in relationship with someone else, we need to start with ourselves, because I don't believe that we can readily give compassion to others too tough, not genuinely and fully, if we are not giving compassion to ourselves first and foremost. And I know some people might argue, like, no, I give my all to everyone else, I just don't do it for myself. But I would challenge that a little bit, to see how fully are you giving compassion to someone else. Are you a little bit feigning that compassion, like phoning it in a little bit, because you're used to doing it and you know it, but in your head you've got the judgments and the frustrations and the annoyance. You're thinking one thing, but you're outwardly expressing another, because you're skeptical, with yourself, because you're not giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and the level of compassion that you deserve. So it becomes a cyclical thing. And like with many things, start with self. Start with self. Are you starting with self? If you're in a position, which I feel like many of us should be, where we want to lead with more compassion because we want more peace in our lives and we want to, as they say, protect our peace. I'm here for it. I want to protect my peace. Surely, I want to protect peace and quiet, like it is right now, because my kids are asleep. Um, but if we really want to do that, we have to start with self. Are we giving ourselves a level of compassion when we need it, when we F up, when we jack something up, when we are out of pocket, when we need to take accountability for our actions? Are we being considerate and compassionate to ourselves? And that allows us to lead more fully with compassion for others. They work, I think they work hand in hand, they work in tandem. So, yeah, that's the question I want to leave you with. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what I was doing right here. I'm sorry. Tonight is a night of tangents. This is real because y'all know I don't edit this stuff out. I went like this and I felt nothing but the shave side, y'all. I am not used to a lot of hair, and I just think I thought there was more going on here than there actually is. So I was like, boop. Ah! And I was like, I feel nothing. Okay. I don't even have the hang time that I think I have. Y'all, things are just going. Look at that. Every which way. I'm looking at the monitor where I can actually see. Y'all seeing the hair journey in real time. But yes, I digress a bit. Perhaps that digression was was entertaining for some of you. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I am here. I make videos to remind us to stay connected to yourself, to your partner, and to creating a life that feels good to you. Okay, that feels good to you. And if that's your vibe, please subscribe. Let's continue this conversation. Let's continue this journey in real time. Drop in with me. Let's do this. And yeah, I appreciate you. Say hey in the comments. For those of you who want to do deeper work, for those of you who want more support, more guidance, more intention and intentionality around how you're showing up for self, how you're showing up with your partner in communication and also in connection, the two things that make a healthy, long lasting, enjoyable relationship, please meet me in the description below. I got you. Thank you so much again, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.